Okay, so what the fuck is Brotato? I was kind of avoiding this game for a long time because I thought it was just a Binding of Isaac clone. And I really didn't like Binding of Isaac to begin with. I thought it was kind of repetitive. It's got like the Zelda aspects of going through castles and having to know bomb locations. So I wasn't trying to pick up a niche game that would take me, I don't know, like 3 hours to master. I was pleasantly surprised with Brotato though. I did not realize, first of all, it auto attacks for you, which is great. It allows for such passive gameplay where you pick it up and don't exert too much effort trying to blitz through the waves. This game also looks really cool. Brotato. What the fuck is a Brotato? I like the aspect of how there's money and currency in the game and you level up, and how after every single level, you have the ability to either pick up items or weapons. Weapons that you can have six of, by the way, which I didn't know you could have the same weapon in your six, which really would have been fucking helpful on this run since I'm using like a really shitty staff. I'm more of a health guy, also XP guy, so I was trying to max out my health as much as possible. I learned this does not fucking matter. In this game, the minute you get below half health, if you do not have some sort of regeneration item, you are going to die. So it's best just to kit the fuck up with your damage and attack speed and pray to God you don't get cornered by one of those giant brutes. This game brings out such a casual love. Like, I love this game. It's only 700 megabytes, too, which, like I said, in the Call of Duty era of 3 billion terabytes of fucking nonsense, this is a nice addition that you can just set and forget. You'll never have to delete this game because it doesn't even take up a percent of your storage, and yet it has so much to offer. I love how there's trees and crates that spawn in, because sometimes it can get a little rudimentary running the same circles or just kiting enemies. So it's cool how it incentivizes you to kind of go out of your comfort zone and try to find that tree, try to destroy that tree. Because maybe it spawns an item that gives you, I don't know, more range or more damage. Or maybe it's a giant piece of shit and just drops one of those cactuses that barely regenerate your health and kind of give you XP, but not really. I also was unaware. Can you have as many items as you want, or is there some limit where you have to end up selling them? Because I was at some point buying every item I could. There does come a point when you're getting so much currency that it really doesn't matter if you hold on to it or not because you're going to be able to afford everything. So I am a little curious as to if there's a max as to how many items you can hold, or if it doesn't matter. It's a giant crapshoot where it's like, hey man, if you can afford it, you can fucking have it. Can you also stack items too? Sometimes I got like a punching bag or like a fist, and I wasn't sure if that was able to be stacked and do twice the damage, or if it was just a complete waste of money. Here I'm using the old man, and this was a pleasant surprise. The map is smaller, which I really like. And with every character, you get a new option for what you can choose your starting weapon to be. I had been using melee for a little bit, so I thought it'd be a nice change up to use the shotgun, and I love the fact that it does collateral damage. I'm a big get them in a group guy, blast them all in one shot, versus slowly whittling away their health. Like, I want to see the damage now. See right here, I didn't know you could have two of the same gun. It would have been fucking sick to have double shotguns, but like I said, I'm new to the game. This is my first time picking it up. I mainly picked it up because I see my friend playing it, and he's on that thing all the fucking time. So I'm like, I guess I'll give it a shot. And, you know, I couldn't be any more happy. This is definitely not an Isaac clone. I mean, I guess it has, like, the top view perspective with stages or spawning enemies, but it's so much more relaxed. It really kind of hones down on the combat and unique aspect of how many things you can have, and it doesn't really force itself to be anything more than that. I wonder if this is a mobile game too, because I feel like it could do a lot of downloads if it was a mobile game. I mean, I don't see why not. Maybe the graphics would suffer at the point of it being portable, but I definitely see a window for opportunity if I'm able to play it on like my iPad per se and just have an absolute blast. Now, I only saw, I believe, 8 different enemy types, being the slime guys, the long range, the brute with the helmet, and then there were these mummy guys, which I'm not sure what they did, but they fucking shredded my damage, so I always made it to a point to try to kill them. The thing with that is, though, is that they're very evasive and fast. You can try to hone in and focus on one enemy, but chances are you're going to accidentally kill him versus forcing your way through killing him. There comes a point when the auto aim doesn't really work with you and you're just shooting whatever the fuck. So it's nice when it finally locks on and you get that luck. Now, luck is also a thing in this game. Does that mean I get a higher chance for crits or a higher chance to get ×2 for my cash and XP, or the ability to regenerate more health if I have one of those items spawned in? I'm not sure, but I do really like and appreciate that. It's nice that there's more of an RNG aspect in this game and that it doesn't play so formative. Right here, here's the item I found. It also shows all your stats at the end of each level. There's a dodge and armor, which I'm not sure what they did. Armor, I get it. It makes sense. You'll have a buff before your health gets deplenished to where you have the armor, and it's kind of like a get-out-of-jail-free card. But what is dodge? Is that an automatic action your character does where he's either going to roll or phase out of a shot? Or is that an intentional button you have to press? I did try mashing all the buttons to see if they did anything. I didn't notice anything. Let me know, though, if I'm just completely missing the point here. I am hard stuck on Wave 13. It reminds me when I was a kid playing BTD5, and I think it was round 34 where the camo lead balloon spawned. And that is the ultimate reality check. It's like, all right, did we cover all your bases? We're going to throw a fucking fast one at you here. And either you completely die or you blitz through it and you're good for the next 20 rounds. This Wave 5 is really like a level check. It's like, have you been buying the right shit? Or are you kind of just getting lucky and dodging everything? Maybe you have way too much health regeneration. Which I said, that really does not matter. You want to focus heavily on damage and weapons. Because I believe if you buy a certain weapon, then you unlock for the ability to have the leveled up 2 version of it or 3 of it in the shop. I was having a lot of fun with the old man, but he definitely does not do enough speed in terms of how he hits and does damage. So I don't see myself reusing him again, but I do like the fact that it's a smaller map, so it's a change up. I was also unlocking a bunch of different characters, and I believe there are over 20, all with their own unique little abilities that makes them different from the other. I mean, of course, there's the arbitrary stats, where it's like, yeah, +5 max health or +2 speed, but some of them also come with certain items. For an example, being the engineer or scientist that spawns with 3 turrets, and I think that's sick. Some of them also come pre-spawning in with pets. For mine, I believe I got the robot, which slowed enemies, which is cool because then it feels like I'm getting like some help from the man above. Like, I have like a co-op. And is this game also co-op now that I'm speaking of it? I think that would be fun as fuck if that's available. And I gotta think it is, right? I could check right now, but I'm making this video and I'm too fucking lazy. So it's whatever. Now the level up. That is just free, right? Like I don't have to spend money on it. And should I have been re-rolling? There you go, that's the Wanderbot. Should I have been re-rolling? Is there an aspect of just like once you get enough money, just re-roll until you get like a god item? I didn't see any yellow or legendary items. The best I was getting were the purples. So I wasn't sure if I was just screwing myself out of something great. Right there is the farm. And I think, I may be wrong, but I think it gave you ×2 for when you pick up items. At least that's what I convinced myself, since when I was standing near it and picking up items, I got ×2. Maybe I'm completely off base, but I'm not totally sure what it does. I like how when you get certain items, it changes how your character looks. Like right here, I had the tree spawner, so I have like a sprout on me. Some of the time it has like oozing like pimples on me, or like I'm missing a couple of eyes. So it's cool how you're able to like semi-customize your character. It'd be nice if I was able to change the color of my character, just because white is so boring. And I think it'd be cool if I like look different for every game. Now here's the purple. I don't know if my weapons do any elemental damage. I have to assume my torch does, just because it's fire and that's very obviously one of the elements. So I was now trying to focus on harvesting and range. I want to be able to, every time I move somewhere, do damage to something, because it seems like such a waste of time in my space to not be at least doing some damage to the enemies. Right here are the brutes, which man, they will really fuck you. They do like minimum half of your damage, and they're so methodical in where they choose to attack, it can completely mess up your rhythm. Because the smaller guys who are like medium speed, they're easy to kite. But these guys generally don't give a fuck. They pick a general direction of where you're moving and just totally blitz through it. Now, do you get a grace period when you get hit? Like a 1 second grace period to where you can't take any more damage? Or is it just unrelenting and it's like once you start getting combo womboed, you're fucking cooked. There's nothing you can do. I was getting a lot of achievements, and I was wondering, do the achievements then lead to more items unlocked or characters that you're able to use? I think that'd be sick because it gives me another aspect to continue to play this game. Because I am an achievement hunter, so in being able to do everything, it's nice to see my progression. In this video, I was unable to quote-unquote beat this game. I'm not sure if that's even possible, but I have to assume there is like a max wave to where you've completed it and can unlock modifiers. Now, the modifiers I believe were difficulty. My difficulty obviously was at 0 because I literally just started playing this game. But I'd like to think that with the difficulty, obviously the harder enemies, but the more XP you get and the faster you're able to become more overpowered. Because obviously the worst part of it is having to restart from 0 and having those 20-second waves feel like 1 hour waves where you're just slowly killing enemies one by one and not really getting any overpowered items. Now, one of the items was red. Is that good? Like, is that a mythic or like 3rd tier rarity? Or is it red in the sense that it's bad and it's going to take away a lot from you, but at the cost of the fact that you're able to get like a semi-overpowered item? I'm not sure. I was pretty surprised with how good my movement is in this game. It is pretty forgiving in that you can kind of clip into an enemy. Obviously not too much, but it's clutch when you have a melee weapon, so you get that knockback right before they get your ass, and then you're able to blitz through it. I had a lot of close calls in this game. There were times where I was genuinely cringing because I'm like, oh, fuck, 7 more seconds. It's all I have to last. 7 more seconds, and I'm able to get the fuck out of here. So I would have like an all or nothing strategy where I'd just sit in the corner, and it was a matter of either you get to me fast enough or I beat you. Like right here, 2 seconds left, I'm at half HP. I get a super lucky health regeneration, and I'm able to get through the next wave. At this point, this was my highest wave achieved, and I genuinely felt a sense of accomplishment. It felt as if the more items I got and the more I was learning and progressing through the game, the easier it got. Now, of course, with the easier it got, the more enemy types that spawned. Right here being the mummy guys, I still am not sure what they did. They would either do no damage to me or half my health. Luckily, I got a really lucky item in that it was a nullifying item, so that your first hit doesn't count towards your max HP, which was really nice. Now, what's the difference between the green coins and the cash? Is the cash what you spend money on for rerolls? But actually, now that I'm looking at it, it's depleting throughout the game. I did not notice that. So what is the point of the cash? Right there, it just disappeared, and now I'm genuinely curious. Is that something you have to use in-game as you're playing through it? Like as like a ability to buy more health or get more damage? That I'm unaware of. Now, there are crates that spawn in this game that give you certain items, and I love that aspect. I'm going for a crate every single time. The ability to have a free item is just something that I genuinely need. And right here, I got pretty lucky. 3 range damage. And right here, I don't know what I was thinking. I very obviously should have re-rolled. Most of these guns are shit. I already have the garden, so I really don't need to have them spawning. Maybe just having a ton of them spawning so that it spawns the fruit that gets me XP. Wow, I'm saying spawn a lot. But being able to have the XP and health regeneration. I'm also not sure what fruit that is. I think I called it a cactus. So it looks more like a cacti than it does resemble any fruit possible. My buddy here, he was doing jack shit. I kind of should have just sold him for the ability to reroll more items. I have 27 max health. I didn't really want to go over like 30 or 40 because at that point I feel like it's a moot point. And what I said before, that once you start getting tag-alonged or hit a bunch, there is no point. It doesn't matter how much health you have, you will inevitably die. It is nice that in the later rounds, you can tell right away. This is either something that I'm getting through or absolutely not. It's usually like a skill check when you get halfway through the timer. If you're halfway through the timer and less than half of your health, you're probably not winning unless you have some really godlike regeneration abilities. Which, like I said, I wasn't really using. I got the double barrel shotgun, my first purple in this run, and I was so hype. But once again, I didn't realize you could have two of the same gun. I really should have searched up a wiki for this game because I'm sure I could have beaten it. But I'm on a timer, guys. I got to go to class in like 30 minutes, so I generally have to hurry the fuck up with this video. But I really wanted to make it because people should be talking about this more and playing it. Maybe there's a huge community for it, or maybe it's very niche. I haven't heard anything about it, which I feel like is a rarity for these free games that take up very low storage. Maybe that's a blessing and a curse. I feel like some people equate storage to gameplay value and how much there is to offer. So some people will already discount it on the basis that they think it's a skeleton game and that there's not much going on. But this genuinely has a lot to offer. And if you do like games like Binding of Isaac or even Bloons, because it has that wave ability with incremental unlocks and abilities that make you want to keep coming back. And I wonder, even when you unlock all the characters, is there ability to further upgrade them? I feel like there's endless possibilities into how much you can unlock, and it's like factorial of 20 as to how many different classes and kits you can have per game. It also has that RNG aspect to where you'll never know what you're going to get. I feel like no run is same from the next. I'm once again fucking cringing here because I finally realized at round 13 I can have two of the same gun, which really would have fucking helped because I was selling my best guns. I'd like to know from you guys, what is like the overpowered stat? Like obviously in most Fallout games, it would be either speed or agility. So what is the speed and agility unlock in this game? I have to assume it's luck, just because that's some passive that's completely out of your control, and it's nice just to get that random one shot. It's like, it's like a little, okay, maybe I have a chance here. Or is that total bullshit and maybe it's not? If not luck, then I have to think it's health. But like I said, I really don't subscribe to that. I feel like once you're losing in a game, it's already chalked. It's already over. Like right here, there's a lot going on, and it didn't matter how much fucking health I had. Dodging these little glowing laser beams, it was my inevitable doom. It is nice every now and again, though, when you do get that regeneration, but it is so little that there really isn't any point, and I die with 2 seconds left. I was fucking raging, bro, because I was so hype. This is the furthest I had ever gotten, and the fact that it was 2 seconds being the difference between my all-time high is just so ass. Now, what is the max wave you can get to? Is it round like 15, I have to assume? Because that round 14 right there is definitely when shit got real and I was stressing. Here's that engineer I was talking about with his cute little turrets. They weren't putting in that much work, but it was nice to know that I have some boys helping me out. This game will 100% be my next obsession. It is such a little passive game where if you throw on music and get in the mood, you're going to want to keep on picking it up. And I genuinely think people will like this game if there's not already a huge following for it anyways. And why not download it? It's only 700 megabytes. That is not taking up any storage on your game, and it's generally one you can tell they put time into. I also love supporting these indie creators. I think we need to stop spending $70 on these bullshit AAA games. And yeah, you can say Cyberpunk was really good. There was that space game that got shit on a bunch. But why is the new meta, just wait for 3 or 4 updates and then it will be all figured out? These indie games, they're running on no clock. There is no sense of urgency to drop the game immediately, whereas something like GTA, although it doesn't apply to them because it's been 13 years in the making, so you have to assume that it'll come out completely right this time. But these AAA games that run on an annual basis of making money, because it truly is just a business to them, they don't flesh out their games and they end up reusing a lot of code just to give us what we already know. Indie games, they have nothing to fucking lose. They know it's a matter of 100 people playing their game or 100,000. It's just whatever sticks. It's a total crapshoot. There are over 100 different indie games. And the indie game market is a little oversaturated right now. There are a lot of what I like to call poop parties. The poop parties are these indie games you specifically see on Nintendo Switch that are fucking horrible. It's either a softcore porn or just an absolute asinine anime game that has no reason to call itself a game. It's more like an art piece that aliens will view in 50 years and think, what the fuck were they on when they made this? Ninja Gaiden Bikini Warriors 3? First of all, why was 40% of the graphic integrity spent on the boob jiggle physics and not the actual gameplay? Anyways, I'm getting a little carried away here. I do kind of get upset at the fact that Nintendo has like 5 start games that definitely like make the whole console to whereas everything else is a total crapshoot. It's generally why I prefer PS5 and Xbox, because that does seem to be the publisher of choice and the console of choice to generally have some good fleshed out games. So overall, yeah, I like this game. I think you should pick it up. Do I know what Brotato is yet? Not at all. Is there a story I'm unaware of that's playing on? No, but I think that would have been really cool. It is one of those sandbox arcade types. I think this thing would have done numbers like 10 years ago. Maybe I'm totally off base though, and it does have a huge player support. But I do like this game. I will be playing it later. And odds are I do end up making a second video on this, which is something I don't really do. I like to have a new video at least every week to where I'm covering a new topic and I can have a little more to say and a little more diversity in each time I talk to you guys. But this does seem like a game that I'm going to pick up later just because it's so easy to play. It's extremely easy to record. About every 4 waves is one recording since I don't have a capture card because I don't have, like $500 on me. It could even be more than that. And $500 to begin with is already a steep fucking price for a broke college kid. So I do appreciate how it is so easy to record and able to like share with the world. Am I good at this game? You know what? I'm gonna take a yes on that one. I don't know if you've been watching. I'm assuming you're just listening. But my kiting and juke spills, I think, are genuinely impressive. I was hitting some major fucking swerves that I was unaware that I even had in my bag. So just the fact that I was dodging enemies a little bit, even though I didn't know what dodge did and I never fucking upgraded it, I think would have been nice. I'm definitely going to go for that on my next run. That is if I ever get to a high enough level. But overall, yeah, I fuck with Brotato. It wouldn't be fair not to show you guys the end of this clip. I was doing so well in my XP. My health was looking really good. You slowly see it drain. You know what's coming. I'm cornered. I got some buffed up enemies against me. It's the beginning of the end. Hard stuck wave 13.